EduVerse PD podcast, brought to you by ProEd Education Solutions, your on-the-go professional development. Hello, everyone. Welcome to EduVerse PD podcast, the world's first AI-hosted education podcast. Today, in episode 22, our AI co-hosts, Andy and Liz, are diving into a fascinating and future-forward topic, the power of the metaverse for real-world language skills. They'll be exploring highlights from an inspiring interview with Anika Brain, featured in EduVerse Newsletter, issue 20. Let's see how Anika unpacks the challenges facing traditional language classrooms and explains how immersive technologies like the metaverse can bridge critical gaps in language learning. Let's hand it over to Andy and Liz to guide us through this exciting exploration.
Welcome back, everyone, to the EduVerse PD podcast. I'm Liz.
And I'm Andy. Great to be back.
Today, we're diving into some fascinating insights from Anika Brain. She's, a real visionary in edtech.
Absolutely. Over 17 years in the field, impacting, over 270,000 students? Plus, she's been pioneering game-based learning in places like Roblox and Minecraft.
Exactly. So our goal today is to really pull out the practical stuff, the key advice from her interview on using metaverses and AI for language learning.
Okay, yeah, let's get into it. Where do we start? Maybe with her own story.
Good idea. It seems like her personal background really, sparked everything.
Right. She mentioned growing up in Russia and feeling frustrated with language classes. It was all grammar, but hardly any chance to actually speak it, to use it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people can relate to that. You learn the rules, but then putting them into practice is a whole different ballgame.
Totally. And for Anika, it wasn't just an observation. It became this, driving force. She saw a problem from the inside.
Which often leads to the best solutions, right? That personal connection.
Definitely. And it seems like that's a pattern for her. She talked about developing tech for kids with ADHD and autism because she saw the need firsthand within her own family.
Okay. So it's like see a personal need, figure out how to solve it, and then share it wider.
Exactly. Explore, solve, share. It feels very human, relatable. Not just some abstract theory.
Makes you think about everyday problems differently, maybe.
For sure. And that perspective really shines a light on what she sees as wrong with, the standard language classroom.
Which is?
Well, two main things jumped out. One, the lack of personalization. It's often this one-size-fits-all approach.
Right. Assuming everyone learns at the same speed, needs the same things, which just isn't true.
Not at all. And the second thing, not enough real-world practice. Authentic situations to actually use the language.
Yeah, that's key. You can memorize vocabulary lists forever, but using it in conversation, that's the goal.
And that's where she sees these metaverses, Roblox, Minecraft really stepping in.
As a solution.
As a potential game changer, yeah. Because they can create these adaptive, immersive environments.
Adaptive meaning
they can adjust to the learner's pace. But more than that, they offer immersion. A place to interact naturally.
Like a virtual playground for language.
Kind of, yeah. Where you can have natural interactions at your own speed in situations that feel, more real than a textbook exercise. It's about that natural contextual use.
She gave an example, didn't she? Sasha.
Oh, yeah, that was fascinating. A Russian-speaking kid, zero English.
Right.
And the teacher used simple commands in Roblox. Things like, come here, follow me, take it. Basic stuff.
And what happened?
By the third session, Sasha apparently understood and could even translate those into Russian without being explicitly taught grammar or vocab lists.
Wow. So just through interacting, through doing.
Exactly. Learning through experience is such a contrast to just memorizing rules. It's that natural language acquisition, like how we learn our first language.
That really hits home, doesn't it? Seeing it work like that.
It does. It shows the power of context and active participation. You're not just learning about the language, you're using it.
So for educators listening, maybe they're thinking, okay, interesting, but Roblox, Minecraft, sounds complicated. What was Anika's advice?
It was actually really simple. Don't overthink it.
Okay.
Her first step suggestion, just download Roblox. Find a kid who knows it, a student, niece, nephew, whoever, and ask them to show you around.
Just explore. No grand plan needed at first.
Apparently not. She seems to have a lot of faith in teachers' creativity.
How so?
She believes that once teachers just get a feel for these platforms, they'll naturally start seeing the learning potential.
Ah, okay. Like, oh, we could practice English commands in this game, or this one's great for teamwork and math.
Precisely. It's about seeing them not just as games, but as environments, potential learning spaces.
Okay, shifting gears slightly. What about AI? Where does that fit into Anika's vision?
She used a really interesting term, an exoskeleton for educators.
An exoskeleton.
Meaning AI can handle a lot of the heavy lifting. Things like lesson planning, creating assessments, generating personalized exercises, giving adaptive feedback.
So it frees up the teacher's time.
That seems to be the idea, freeing them up to focus more on the human side, the direct interaction, the connection, the mentoring.
Because AI can't replicate that emotional connection.
Not yet, anyway. Anika was pretty clear on that. AI is a powerful tool, amazing for data and automation, but that human element, the empathy, the nuance, that's the teacher's domain.
So it's not AI versus teachers, it's AI supporting teachers.
Exactly. Complementary strengths working together.
And how do AI and metaverses work together? Are they separate tools or?
No, she sees them as this incredibly powerful combination, a synergy.
Okay.
Think of it like this. AI provides the personalization engine. It analyzes how you're doing, what you need, and then tailors the experience within the metaverse. The metaverse provides the immersive, interactive environment.
So AI fine-tunes the what and how difficult, and the metaverse provides the where and the doing.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah. We're already seeing examples like AI generating specific tasks within a virtual world, or AI-driven avatars acting as tutors.
AI tutors, wow. Adapting in real time.
That's the potential. Imagine an AI avatar that adjusts its language complexity based on how well you're doing. That's the kind of personalized, engaging journey she envisions.
Okay, but let's be real. When parents hear metaverse and screen time, some alarm bells might ring. Safety, online risks. Did Anika address that?
She did, and acknowledged those concerns are valid. Her approach focuses on transparency.
Meaning?
Being open about the privacy controls, the content moderation, the safety features that platforms like Roblox and Minecraft actually have built in. They put a lot of effort into that.
And making the distinction between different types of screen time.
Yes, that's crucial.
Okay.
There's a big difference between passively scrolling social media and actively engaging in a structured learning activity, even if it's on a screen.
Collaborating, problem solving, speaking a new language.
Right. When parents see those positive outcomes, kids thriving, learning, working together, she finds that skepticism often turns into support. It's about showing the purposeful engagement.
Makes sense. So looking ahead, say 5 or 10 years, what does Anika see for language learning?
Well, she acknowledges things like real-time translation via AI, maybe through smart glasses, will likely become more common.
The tech will get better faster.
For sure. But she strongly believes that won't replace the need for deeper language learning.
Why not?
Because language is so much more than just words. It's culture, nuance, emotion, connection. Things that AI translation, at least for now, doesn't fully capture.
So the future isn't just about efficiency, it's about experience.
Exactly. She talks about experiencing language. Imagine learning Spanish by navigating a virtual marketplace, or French by participating in real-time cultural events in a virtual Paris.
And maybe even involving more senses?
Yes. That was one of her dream features for future platforms, moving beyond just sight and sound.
Like incorporating touch, smell.
Yeah. Imagine virtually feeling the texture of an ancient Roman artifact while learning Latin, or smelling spices in a virtual Moroccan souk while practicing Arabic. That kind of full sensory immersion could make learning so much deeper, faster.
Wow. Not just simulating reality, but maybe even enhancing it for learning.
That seems to be the goal. And again, AI and the metaverse work together here.
That's how.
Well, Roblox is already integrating AI to help build virtual worlds faster, making them more dynamic and realistic.
Okay.
And then you have those AI-powered avatars we mentioned. They could become future teachers, native speaker partners, role-play characters.
Adapting constantly to your level.
Right. Imagine an AI shopkeeper testing your negotiation skills in Spanish, or an AI historian guiding you through ancient Egypt, answering your questions in character, adapting to your fluency.
It always comes back to that combo, AI personalizing, the metaverse immersing.
That really seems to be the core of her vision for optimal learning.
Okay, so boiling it all down, what are the big takeaways for you, for our listener?
Well, first, just the sheer power of combining AI and metaverses.
Yeah.
It's not one or the other. It's the synergy that creates these personalized, immersive experiences.
Right. And second?
the absolute necessity of practical application, moving beyond theory to actually using the language in context.
Which metaverses facilitate. Got it. Third.
The potential of those AI avatars as tutors, practice partners, guides, that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, definitely. And maybe a final point.
Just her encouragement, really, for educators, for learners, for parents, to not be afraid, but to actively explore these tools.
Which leads to some questions for you, the listener, to think about.
Like, how could you maybe use some of these metaverse or AI tools in your own learning, or maybe in teaching if you're an educator?
And what parts of traditional language learning feel, well, most ready for a shakeup by these technologies?
Yeah, good questions to ponder.
And Anika's final piece of advice really sticks with me. It's almost deceptively simple.
Which was?
Stop overthinking it. Just start exploring.
Dive in.
Yeah. Get hands-on. The best way to understand it is to experience it.
Yeah.
And talk to kids.
Right. Learn from the digital natives. They're already there. They get it.
It's about shaping this future, not just reacting to it.
A really positive note to end on. Embrace the exploration.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us.
We hope it gave you some practical ideas and maybe sparked some curiosity about what's next.
What an eye-opening discussion. Thank you, Andy and Liz, for walking us through Anika Brain's inspiring vision for the future of language education. From the challenges of traditional classrooms to the possibilities offered by immersive tech and AI, this episode offers a lot to think about, and even more to act on. To read the full interview with Anika Brain, head over to our website and download EduVerse Newsletter, Issue 20, available now on www.proed.com.vn/eduverse. And if you have bold ideas or experiences to share about teaching in a tech-powered world, we'd love to hear from you. Submit your article and join the global EduVerse community of educators and innovators. Thanks for listening, and we can't wait to welcome you back in our next episode of the EduVerse PD podcast, brought to you by ProEd Education Solutions.